my love will be your food. You don't have to be rich to be my girl. You don't have to be cool to rule my world. Ain't no particular sign I'm more compatible with. I just want your extra time and your kiss.
Right, that was Tom Jones in The Art of Noise. Now, the question is, which version was the best? Well, there's a backstory which I'll read right now. Kiss is a song composed, written, and produced by the deceased American musician Prince. Released on the Paisley Park label. It was the lead single from Prince and the Revolution's 8th studio album Parade. That was in 1986. On February 5th, 1986, it was the number one hit worldwide, holding the top spot of the US Billboard Hot 100 chart for 2 weeks. But you know, it was in a movie. It was also in a movie called Under the Cherry Moon.
I know the movie, but I didn't know it was in that.
Yeah, it was in that. Right.
I didn't watch that particular movie by him. I watched the other one, the
Yeah.
Purple Rain movie.
Right. This was before Under the Cherry Moon, of course. Right. The single was certified gold in 1986 for shipments of 1 million copies by RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America. Kiss was voted the best single of 1986. Following Prince's death in April 2016, how time flies. The song was recharted on the Billboard Hot 100 at number 28 and jumped to number 23 a week later. The song also reached number 2 on the French singles chart as of April 30th, 2016. It has sold 1.33 million copies in the US. Whoa. Right, then you heard Kiss by The Art of Noise and Tom Jones. And you were mentioning that this is Tom Jones, I never fall in love again, and you were saying something the fact that he said that that particular song revived his career?
Yeah, this was a revival of sorts from what I researched and found out. They said that his career wasn't really doing well at that stage. But
Raining?
they say he decided to take up doing a few country and western songs and so on. Then this particular one, which would not have been country and western, he decided to try this and try it with the group Art of Noise, and they apparently clicked. So his career picked up again.
Where there was somebody else who also did the song Age of Chance. And Art of Noise also released versions of Prince's song that were critical chart successes. After recording a series of country top pop numbers we just mentioned, Tom Jones made an unfamiliar decision to cover this song. And in doing so, revived his career. He visited Prince Nelson's song in 1987, which also proved a success for him with the group Art of Noise. Now, here is a fun fact. I bet you didn't know Prince and Tom Jones were born on the same day. The 7th of June, Prince in 1958, Jones in 1940.
Strange coincidence, isn't it?
Strange coincidence, yeah. Now, you guys, as I mentioned before, you could be part of the show. Email address is shinsandboots@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is shinsandboots246. And of course, you can join us on WhatsApp. 246 is the area code, 8410924. And of course, you can go on iLiveCaribbean.com and listen to us live, or you can see our ugly mugs on Twitch as you're seeing right now. No, we go back now to, you ever heard of the group Cameo?
Yep.
Right, one of their biggest hits.
Yep.
Word Up. Right?
Word up.
Word Up. So this is Cameo. Word Up. in 1986. No, this is the remake by the new metal band, Korn. That was Word Up 1 and Word Up 2. No, the original Word Up was by Cameo. It became a thing of sorts of popular in New York and other urban areas within the US. The group Cameo developed a character around the saying and wrote the lyrics. It is a funk and R&B song originally recorded by the group in 1986. Word Up was written by band members Larry Blackman and Tommy Jenkins, released in 1986. This was Cameo's 12th studio album. And, no, Korn. Korn and Melody Brown have both recorded this Cameo hit song, and so has British group Gun. I always say Gun. Anyway, GUA. That was in 1990s. Word Up by American new metal band Korn is a cover of the Cameo song, which we know. Its musical arrangements are similar to that of the cover version by Gun. The Korn version cracked the US chart at 123 in 2004. Which you like, originals or the copies?
Original, but you know what caused me to smile about that?
What's that?
Corn.
K-
It is an K and a backward R. That's what caused me to smile.
Actually, they were my favorite groups, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, but enough about them. Let's talk about us, right? As I said before, the show can be found on YouTube and Instagram. Our handle is shinzabusa246, and you can be found on email shinzabusa@gmail.com, and of course, we welcome you on WhatsApp. So I hope to read a few of them tonight. The area code is 246. F10924. Now, we have been watching football for the longest time, right? What is your life like pre-game as a football fan? What do you do pre-game? before you watch a game? Are you like, you gonna pee in a corner? You gonna slap some boy across the head? What do you do?
First of all, they want to know about the team that's going to play. The lineup of sorts. Sometimes they don't like certain picks to start with. But whether you like it or not, you got to live with it during the game.
Yeah.
But I don't have any particular
Ritual?
warm-up or ritual. I'm not a ritual person, more or less.
Oh.
One of these ordinary guys, man.
But you know, got some fans. I was watching a documentary once with fans, and one lady saying she put the shirt of the team she supports on a statue of the Virgin Mary.
Oh, jeez.
I had a crucifix for that when she.
So what will Mary do to it?
Yeah, well, you have to ask the woman, not me.
Probably, okay.
Right, then when she goes to the sports club, because the time zone obviously, sorry about that. The time zone obviously in America, because she's in America. The time zone will be different to England. So down there when the game usually starts, and like 6 or 7 o'clock in America. Depending on the time zone.
Depending on the part of
Right,
the US.
depending on the time zone. And you see her, the shirt, the camera there, tracking over their scarf and in her hand, 7 o'clock in the outside, it's cold. And she's the only person that works in the sports bar. And then before the game starts, this is what she does.
But I got a question to ask you.
This is what she does before the game, George.
Will superstition do anything to the course of a game?
Not as far as I know.
Because, well, I usually say don't discuss religion, but it's just like religion. It's what you believe in. And some people believe, well, if they wear their fancy jumper, that the team will do well.
That's a kick from one side to the other.
Yeah, or if you begin kicking from one end, that your team will win. But does that actually do anything to the game? I say a big fat no.
But it's just that people have beliefs.
Yeah, it's people's belief.
Right? I know sometimes I just look forward to the game. Because you really look at it, 11 men on the field, 22 men on the field, ball is running, anything can happen. They just enjoy the game for what it is. Because some people take it really serious, and especially during the World Cup. Because I remember they had a lot of Brazil fans last World Cup when the gnashing of teeth, for want of a better word. I don't know, I just take the game as it is.
But we'll even go further back than that.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember in 1994,
Mm-hmm.
when the World Cup was held in the US, you could remember a Colombian player lost his life.
Escobar.
Okay. Yeah. And it was because some fan had bet out large portion of money, and he caused the man to lose his money by doing an own goal.
And it's sad when it gets like that, because the thing is, the end is just a game. But some people, I heard one man even say famously that football is more than a game.
Well, how it is nowadays, it's definitely more than a game.
And that's a discussion we have going down the road. I think we have some music lined up for us, because we gotta make it really, technical difficulties and all that first back a bit.
Yes. The next one is going to be one from the Caribbean, or the Caribbean as some people say, but when I check the phonetics about it, it doesn't matter. This one you would have heard on one of our previous shows. So DJ, hit it.
Before DJ starts, right, I'm gonna ask a question. This is Maka
MATA probably.
What would you say to the coming of a brand new day, when the shadows are falling away, even from the eyes of your? Express it if you might, as the passing of the night and the coming of the light through a brand new door. How do you tell everybody everything will be well, and the sound of the splitting of the bell is just too good to ignore. You'll say, hail the man, that's your brother on the street. You say, hail the man, every time we meet. Hail your brother, equal man, hail your sister, shake a hand, it's a brand new day. And we can say it anyway, but what we really want to say is love, 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 love. Hey, your brother, equal man. Hey, your sister, shake a hand, it's a brand new day. And what we really, really want to say is love, 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 love is the dawn. Step into the light of day. We're gonna find us a way that we knew all along. Love is a thing for a beggar or a king, and peace grows wings when love is a song. So, hail the man, that's your brother on the street. We'll say, hail the man, every time we meet. We'll say, hail your brother, equal man, hail your sister, shake a hand, it's a brand new day. And we can say it anyway, but what we really want to say is love, 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 love. Hail the man, that's your brother on the street. We'll say, hail the man, every time we meet. Hail your brother, equal man. Hail your sister, shake a hand, it's a brand new day. We can say it anyway, but what we really want to say is love. Everybody say love. Hail the man, that's your brother on the street. We'll say, hail the man, every time we meet. Hail your brother, equal man. Hail your sister, shake a hand, it's a brand new day. We can say it anyway, yeah, yeah.
Yes, that was Hail the Man by Ken Lazarus. I am certain you would have heard that on a previous show. Generally, Hail the Man is a greeting of sorts. Some people believe it's a way of saying hi or hello to the person first time you see them. Some people believe that the man actually they're referring to is God, and they're giving God special praise. However, Ken Lazarus was produced by Richard Curry, who was his regular producer at that stage. The song was released on the London label on the very first day of January 1972. And that song was remade or covered by Ernie Smith, and that version we'll hear now.
What would you say to the coming of a brand new day, when the shadows are falling away, even from the eyes of yore? Express it if you might, as the passing of the night and the coming of the light through a brand new door. How do you tell everybody everything will be well, and the sound of the splitting of the bell is just too good to ignore? You say, hail the man, 'cause that's your brother on the street. You say, hail the man, every time we meet. Hail your brother, equal man, hail your sister, shake a hand, it's a brand new day. And we can say it anyway, but what we really want to say is love, 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 love. Hail your brother, equal man, hail your sister, shake a hand, it's a brand new day. But what we really want to say is love, 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 love is the door. Step into the light of day. We're gonna find us a way that we knew all along. Love is the thing for a beggar or a king, and peace grows wings when love is the song. So, hail can say it anyway. But what we really want to say is love, 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 love. Hail the man who sets your brother on the street. Hail the man every time we meet.
Ernie Smith. And I wonder, the strange twist to that song? Yes? That song was written by Ernie Smith, but first recorded by Ken Lazarus.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I should leave it to you to decide who did the original and who did the remake.
Who did it best?
However, Hail the Man was the B-side of Pitter Patter, which was released on the 22nd of November 1974 on the London label, just like Ken Lazarus, and it was also on the album titled Ernie Smith. Next up, Book of the Rules by the Heptones.
Isn't it strange how princesses and kings in clown daddy capers in sawdust ring? Just why common people like you and me will be villains for eternity? Each is given a bag of tools, a shameless mask, and the book of rules. Each must make your lives flowing. A tumbling black on a stepping stone. Just why common people like you and me will be villains for eternity. Each is given a bag of tools, a shameless mask, and the book of rules. Pow, 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 I say small people like you and me will be villains for eternity. Each is given a bag of tools, shapeless masks, and the book of rules. Look when the rain is falling from the sky. I know the sun will be only missing for a while. I said common people like you and me will be villains for eternity. Each is given a bag of tools, shameless masks, and the book of rules. Pow, 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 pow. I say small people like you and me will be villains for eternity. Each is given a bag of tools, shapeless masks, and the book of rules. Pow, 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 pow. Pow, 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 pow. Pow, pow, pow.
Yes, that was Book of the Rules. While Kevin is queuing up the football scores for you, let me tell you a little bit about that song. The song was written by Harry Johnson and Barry Llewellyn, who was a member of the Heptones group. It was arranged by Harry Johnson and produced by Harry Johnson and Chris Blackwell, who, as you know, is synonymous with Island Records label. It was released in 1973 from the album Deep in the Roots. and I will let Kevin do his thing here and now.
Deep in the roots. This is the same guy who discovered Bob Marley, right?
Yes,
Yeah. Say still know a thing
Chris
or
Blackwell.
say still know a thing or two, but
He was big in reggae music in Jamaica
I think
for
you should live,
years.
you should live on there a bit or something.
Yes,
innit?
yes.
I guess when you want to find out about something, it's best to go to the root of the matter,
That's right.
not matter. United football player, but Matteer. Right, as you know, the national break is over. Thank goodness for that. Of course, you know we had the World Cup qualifiers. I get to those in a minute. Actually, let me do them now. Now I'm just scanning through this thing. In fact, no. Let me just start with the football scores first of all. Winding down, of course. The CONCACAF region is the 31st of March. Costa Rica, they beat USA 2-0, but USA qualified anyhow. Jamaica, they lost to Honduras 2-1. Mexico beat El Salvador 2-0. And Panama, they beat Canada 1-0. And this is the first thing, although they lost, Canada are going to the World Cup too.
Yes, I think I read that.
And what makes this World Cup more interesting too, right, is that a lot of the guys you have now play in the particular leagues in Europe and in world football now. So I don't think it'd be anything called a min or anything like that anymore. I just don't think so. What do you think?
I agree with you because, as I was saying some time back, a lot of these players play in the top leagues of the world, which is in the European leagues. So a lot of spectators get the chance to see them, you know, so they put it a few notches up at world level, so that makes it interesting.
Right, so we saw the Bundesliga, which was on Friday the 1st, All Fool's Day. And there was no fooling about this one in the Bundesliga. FC Union Berlin beat Cologne 1-0. Now we move on to Saturday, which everything starts to usually pick up after the national break. You guys have a little jet lag or whatever, and then you're fine. What are your thoughts on the international break though? You think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
Depends on which angle you look at it from. I don't think it is a bad thing because the players get to represent their country, but I think the problem comes when you have to play many of these matches within a short period of time. I don't have a problem with them playing for their country, but having to play then and after a few weeks, they have to go back and play again. And it isn't that they play one home match, they have to play one home and one away, you know, and then have to fly back to parts of Europe. That
And the
makes
time
it a
zones
bit.
are usually something different too, so.
Yes.
Right, so we saw on Saturday, which should have been yesterday, of course. Salernitana, they lost to Torino 1-0. Lazio beat Sassuolo 2-1. And Spezia beat Venezia 1-0. And in La Liga, we saw 4 games. Getafe beat Mallorca 1-0. Levante beat Villarreal 2-0. Celta Vigo, they lost to Real Madrid 2-1. And Atletico Madrid beat Alaves 4-1. And moving on, just make it quick. Right, we saw 6 games in the Bundesliga. We see Bielefeld drew with Stuttgart 1-0. Bayer Leverkusen, they beat Hertha Berlin 2-1. And a good friend of ours who lives in Germany was saying that they had violence after in Leverkusen.
Yes, I read that.
Right. They beat Hertha Berlin 2-1. Frankfurt and Greuther Fürth drew 0-0. Hoffenheim lost to Bochum 2-1. Freiburg, they lost to Bayern Munich 4-1. Like expected, right?
Yeah.
Borussia Dortmund lost to Leipzig 4-1. Yes, it comes commonplace with Bayern Munich beating up people. You know, if the headline, if they lose, That's the amazing thing. But what we gonna start talking about before the season finishes, right? The championship. Shaping up pretty
Just
good.
before you go into that, you know there was some violence in Britain today too. In the
This
Celtics Rangers game.
Old Firm. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, there was,
Rangers
from what I
lost.
read.
I think Rangers lost.
Yeah, but there was some Rangers players that threw some broken glass onto the
You mean
the end, the
spectators?
Celt, yeah,
Okay.
onto the Celtic end where the goalkeeper was, and they had to stop the game and clear that for a while. But you know, there's always
Yeah, it's
big
down
thing
there,
between those two.
right? Because I know something. I remember a couple of years back when you were playing at Millwall. It used to be problems, if you can remember,
Yeah,
right?
at the Den,
At
it
the
was.
Den, yeah, it was the Den,
Okay.
right? Right. So we're gonna talk a little bit as the Premiership winds down. We can talk a little bit with Championship.
Yeah.
But that's pretty interesting. We saw the Premiership yesterday. Liverpool were leading the Premiership for at least a couple hours until, they beat Watford 2-0, but there was a contentious VAR decision with the second goal. Because no one knew what happened, and Liverpool got a penalty. So, VAR. Roy Hodgson being as diplomatic as he usually is, he says, well, he didn't know what happened, and he's very diplomatic.
What causes me to smile about that, we had a discussion in the last show about teams.
Gang favors.
Okay. I'm not saying that it happened in this case, but that is the belief of some people. What's wrong with your race?
Moving on. Right, Brighton and Norwich drew 0-0. Burnley, they lost to Manchester City 2-0. So this means next weekend, when City play Liverpool, that's for all the marbles, virtually. Because I think City will be leading by a point now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So Liverpool has to win. Draws ain't gonna do any good. But the big question is, can they beat City in Etihad? We will know next Sunday.
Yeah.
The shock result of the day. Chelsea won Brentford 4. This is the first time Brentford beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge since 1930 something.
Yeah.
And
1939 or something.
yeah, 1939. So you know how social media would be when they lose. It's about fire the coach, and they tend not to look at social media after these results because
Stop looking at social media for a few
while.
weeks now.
right. Because everything, of course, I go off base a bit with the slap, last week's Grammy, Academy Awards. That took up the whole. Everybody had a story with if you psychologically. Everybody was a psychologist. Everybody was an expert,
But that incident, there is a version of WWF of it now, animated version. I saw it, I think yesterday, and I saw it today.
I got my own thoughts about that. But as I say, I heard one YouTuber saying that his show doesn't only talk about football. He talk about the Grammys and the Academy Award and the slap.
People tend to make money off everything nowadays.
The fact of life. Anyway, moving on, we saw Leeds and Southampton drawing 1-1. Wolves beat Aston Villa 2-1, and surprising result. Man United continued their up and down form. They drew Leicester 1-1. And the second goal that Leicester scored was ruled out by VAR. And a lot of people say it should have stood. In the old days, I would say it's Old Trafford, so you wouldn't get it. But I think you always say the referee decision is final, right?
Yeah,
Good, end of.
that's
So,
a fact.
We move on to today, where we saw there were. Just give me a second. I'm just going through as fast as I can say. Right. Serie A. There were 5 games. Fiorentina, they beat Empoli 1-0. Atalanta lost to Napoli 3-1. Udinese, they beat Cagliari 5-1. Sampdoria, Vale lost to Roma 1-0, and Juventus lost to Inter 1-0. Interesting. In La Liga, we saw Athletic Bilbao beating Elche 2-1. Real Betis, they beat Osasuna 4-1. Granada and Rayo Vallecano, they drew 2-1. Valencia and Cadiz drew 0-0. Barcelona beat Sevilla 1-0. Now we move on to today. I'm trying to pull that up now for those who came in there. Actually, two games in the Bundesliga. Augsburg beat Wolfsburg 3-0. Borussia Mönchengladbach. They drew Mainz 1-all. Moving on to Papa John's Trophy. I was looking at the winning some of that. There's actually a trophy named Papa John's Trophy.
Okay.
Rotherham
Didn't
beat
know that.
Southend 4-2. Let me tell you, right? If that, this was like about what people call the lower leagues, you know. These guys were playing like a life depending on it, you know. It was a really good game. I mean, you see the result there 4-2, so I can tell you how open it was. It's like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. One of the goals, I think one of the goals that I think his Rotherham score was a beauty. He let them just run and hit it anyhow.
I would bet you something too in those games.
Which is,
You don't see players go down holding themselves.
you go down? You mean by the time they go down and back up running?
Right, that's what I mean. So you don't get all that play acting. It's more realistic than at the top level where the
But
players
the only thing
are
is,
paid.
with their coming back up, the fellas coming up to the Premier League, right, is that you can see the gulf of class, the gulf of, you know, because very few teams come up and stay up. You got a situation, though, you got Norwich in the bottom half, they came up. Watford came up there in the bottom half, right? Well, you can't say Brentford going on anymore because Brentford put themselves over. I think it was 3 that came up. Brentford, Watford, and Norwich that came up, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So 2 of them going back down. Brentford will be there next season, but to see how long is another story.
Might be pulling Burnley with them also.
But Burnley were flirting with it for a very long time, right? And it was just a matter of time. Again, it all comes down to finance. Because as we said in an earlier discussion in the show, a couple of shows back, is the haves and have-nots. Burnley, Norwich and Watford are pro. You know, who's gonna really put money behind that? Because they may be good for competition, and that is it. You can't see Burnley playing a Europa League or Champions League.
You might probably have said that of Leicester City a few years ago too, but they did.
But you see, they were in the anomaly.
Yeah, but you get these things happening in life.
Like Halley's coming to Earth. Yeah. They have 2 games in the Premier League today. West Ham beating Everton 2-1. Again, Everton can't win against save their lives, right? And the thing is now, the people are asking, is it the players or is it the manager?
There's a blame game going on, and they're even including the owner of the club in it, chairman. They're saying, well, it is bad planning on their part. So lots of fingers are being pointed at a number of different people.
You realize when you're losing,
Yeah,
fingers,
that happens. That's natural in life.
right? And Tottenham, are they back or this is just a one-off? They beat Newcastle 5-1. Slow start and then they got into it. Newcastle, of course, the richest club in the world.
But strange thing about that game, I didn't watch the game, but I watched the scores and the scorers. Our friend didn't get on his scorecard.
He set up, bro.
He set up, but he didn't put the ball in the back of the net.
But he set up.
Yeah, but that
You
you don't
didn't
credit
buy-
for that at the end of the season.
It's called
You
an
credit
assist.
for it. You don't get the golden boot for that.
It's called an assist. Anyway.
Which is a non-statistic.
Right, so we got Champions League coming up. As I said, the quarterfinals. I'll bring them up here with me. Well, of course, the semi-finals to the FA Cup are coming up. Atletico Madrid playing Manchester City. That game actually is on Wednesday. Let me look back and make sure because I had it up just now and I was saying that I was asking Wayne. Let me just get a peek here. It's a wonderful thing about technology, right? You can always find everything when you need it. Right, so we see on the 5th, which would be Tuesday, Benfica playing Liverpool and Manchester City playing Atletico Madrid. People are saying that this could be Liverpool's year again. They say it could be Manchester City's year again. But we heard that last year too.
Give the trophy to both then. Stop the tournament and give the trophy to both.
Split to both. Right. Then on Wednesday we see Real Madrid playing Chelsea. First leg at Stamford Bridge. Villarreal playing Bayern Munich. So those are some interesting games you can look forward to. I guess we'll be talking about it next week on the Shins and Boots Football Show. And for those who came in late, Man City or Atletico Madrid will face the winner of Chelsea or Real Madrid. Atletico Madrid, the winner of that. Chelsea will face Chelsea. Man City will face Chelsea or Real Madrid once they get past Atletico Madrid to reach the Champions League semi-finals. Liverpool may face Bayern Munich if they both progress to the next round. And you never write off teams like Villarreal or Benfica.
There's no more used to do that.
Right? 4 very, 8 really good teams. Second legs, of course, to be played on the 12th and 13th of April. Of course, first leg's Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't think I'll be watching those. With that, I think the next thing we can go on to right now. We're turning really fast. We can let the DJ do his thing as he usually does. Yeah.
Welcome. Why? Hey. Chronics left and right. Just soldiers are come left and right. Wait. Ooh yeah. Boy. And them say here comes trouble, here comes the danger. Sent by the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. I start recruit soldiers for Selassie army. Ay. Here comes trouble, here comes the danger. Welcome the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. You're not for axes who at the general issue in a warning. Job people them a ball, said them tired of mediocre. Evil a go fall when we tried in Ethiopia. Me leaving from down, cause them life no easy boat ya. Even Bantan said it's not an easy road. Operation occupy the motherland, calling all soldiers to kindly tread along. From creation, he writing a job plan, but Chronics can't do it alone. So I'm recruiting soldiers coming from near and far by choose. Executing Selassie I works and the Rastafari true. And them say skanking, grooving, hallelujah. Skanking, grooving, help me Jaja. Yeah, skanking, grooving, under pressure. Yeah, skanking, grooving. Under the pressures of a life and it tough. Now stay down, mama, time pick it up. Now bother with the down, full style, strictly up, full vibes. Now pick it up when the bills, them, the rent and the mortgage due. Yeah. When me chalice, when your best friends are gone and it's only you. Yeah. Like up a split, turn up the music. Skanking sweet, everybody wanna feel like free. Forget your troubles and the rock with me. You know feel a reggae music sweet, yeah. Skanking sweet, everybody wanna feel like free. Forget your troubles and the rock with me. You know feel a reggae music sweet, yeah. Skanking sweet.
And it's a protege, eh?
Yeah.
Chronics are where you say, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows, sending love to my friends and foes. And I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. Jah provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees, green leaves. Hey.
When me see Jah, me see a way. Drastically straight from hypocrisy, I say, hey. Every man to them own a philosophy. I live the proper way and then me read a chapter daily. Man, they in a city hungry and no eat. And food drop off of the tree then. You see, say poverty no real then, is what the reason revealing.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows, sending love to my friends and foes. And I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. I provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees, green leaves, yeah.
When the rain pits a pot on the roof, herb just a steam pepper pot on the stew. Life is a dream if you got gratitude, so go tell the regime them can't stop what we do now. Information you think on your own, or else you're a slave to the things that you know. What do you know if you learn every day? So be careful of things where you say.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows, sending love to my friends and foes. And I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. I provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees, green leaves.
Africa in our soul, but a Jah in our heart. It is of importance for I and I gather. If we cannot show now a balance that we are, how do we propose then to carry it abroad? Cannot go to Ethiopia and you not have a plan. The building of a nation and a helper on. Every one a lover, one a man is just a man. It shall be a coronation when we land.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows, sending love to my friends and foes. And I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. I provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees.
Me now watch no face, beg no more pardon. Enough drugs, money they a cherry garden. Enough individual society applauding. You can ask anybody where them get them starting. But no politician take a donation. So no criminal will never see a station. Never see a cell, not even a courthouse. But every Sunday we see them take a boat out. North Coast Resort and car dealership. The construction company, them just don't legit. Usually wash the money, turn it round and hide it. When the kickback them come in, the government delighted. So police cancel operation, cause no real bad man a go station. Now if you check the situation, a blood money running nation. Come take a look in a Jamaica. Injustice in the place now. If what you see no really face you, then you are the problem what we face now. Was about to buy a next 6, you know. Maybe then I never have to be a prisoner. Maybe then I coulda not turn in my firearm. Police couldn't come remand, come me like me run an army. Was about to be a politician too. Maybe then I coulda make any decision. Look, maybe then I make 100 million disappear. Then me act like me no care what you bought me back in there. Because it's a reality. In a Jamaica say your status or your salary. Man, the road that carry one whole heap of felony, but them have a family, a boost up the economy. So, police cancel operation, cause no real pie.
Yes, and we have to do the remake to Book of Rules. This one's by Pluto Sherrington.
Isn't it strange how princesses and kings and clown got a capers doing sort of swing? Just like proven people like you and me must be builders for eternity. Each is given a bag of tools, a shapeless mass in the book of rules. Each is given a life of his own.
familiarly known as Pluto Sherrington. He was a vocalist and bass guitarist with Tomorrow's Children in the 70s. Maybe you remember Tomorrow's Children. This song was first released by Pluto in 1995 on Trojan Records. Could also be picked up from his album The Best Of, which was released in 1995. Yes, and what do you have for us?
I'm gonna call tomorrow's children, not today's children.
It's a good question.
Alright.
Can't tell you
remember
why.
that had the Walkman?
Yeah,
I'm gonna never call the Walkman.
I don't know. There was another group called Tomorrow's Children too, an American group.
There was a few. So, alright, my question is, we ever heard of Boys to Men?
Yeah,
Right. We are calling them now men to senior citizens?
probably. I didn't hear about Girls to Women.
And then of course he had character Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So you know what he got? Well, 60 or call him Harold.
Harold.
Harold Potter.
Harold.
Tomorrow's I remember them when I was younger. We used to hear a lot about them.
Yeah, they went to Barbados a couple of times. I think about twice.
Right. Now, so you know we're going down. You know Georgia is telling me to bring up these polls that are made up. I don't know where you get that. Sorry, they got to read any messages this week. I guess you could do that next week.
Yeah.
Right. This is not a made up poll. Let me get this to you right now.
I didn't accuse you.
Yeah, you would say, oh, where you get these fictitious figures from and all
Now
that.
you suppose I would have asked you that.
Right, so every football fan knows the roller coaster of emotions that the game provides very well. The highs of success are euphoric, but the lows can be absolutely heartbreaking. Whether it be international or club level, football history is littered with tear-jerking moments. And recently, a list was compiled of 50 most emotional moments of all time, and a few sides have certainly suffered more than others. Entries are football-based, meaning that tragedies or incidents that will be genuinely upsetting to a non-fan not being considered. Right, we start number 50, of course. Uruguay break Brazil hearts. Brazil are beaten 2-1 by underdogs Uruguay in the World Cup final on home turf in front of 200,000 expectant fans in the Maracana Stadium. That was back in 1958, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, now, this is one you will like. 1974. Total football meets his match.
Okay.
A
That was Johan Cruyff and his group. Okay.
Johan, a well-drilled West Germany side upset Johan Cruyff's groundbreaking Netherlands side in the World Cup final in 1974. Right. Leeds field robbed in the European Cup final. That's 1975. The Whites were denied Stonewall penalty have been half a goal disallowed before let Brian Brace seize the trophy. Probably head to Munich. Leeds haven't made it to the European final since. Well, I got a Scottish report. The final. I think it was quarterfinal, right?
They wouldn't make it there this season.
Right. This one is dedicated to DJ. 1979 United's Cup final comeback cut short. This is Manchester United talking about, by the way. Traded 2-0. Traded 2-0 to Arsenal. Then beat Manchester courageously fight back to level match with 2 goals in the final 5 minutes. The Gunners then promptly saunter up the other and regain the lead, breaking United hearts. Well, that's pretty much traffic, isn't it? You'll say it was offside, anyhow. In 1982, El Salvador suffered worst ever World Cup defeat. You remember that? Hungary 10, El Salvador 1. Needless to say, the Central American side finished bottom of the
Don't exactly remember that one. Anyway.
Right.
Go ahead.
Paul Gascoigne in 1990. Gascoigne weeks after receiving a yellow card was ruled out of the World Cup final if England managed to overcome us during the semis.
Remember
Now
that
on
one
story,
vividly.
right? 1993. This is one. Oh, here it is. The Three Lions didn't make the show. Peter Killer McGillis devastation is still regularly played for more than 3 decades. How touching. 1993. Nottingham Forest relegated in club's final season. He may have been the greatest manager in the club's history, but even the iconic Bayern club can't keep Forest in the Premier League during the competition in the inaugural season. A sad end to a legendary career. I think he passed away a couple of years after.
Yeah, Cluffy. Good old Cluffy.
Right. 1994, Roberto Baggio.
The eternal ponytail.
Baggio's penalty heartache. Baggio's Sky penalty hands the 1994 World Cup to Brazil.
Remember that one?
I remember jumping up and down. And I remember it too, is that my daughter was 1 year old. And she liked Brazil. I don't know why, how come. Then Baggio's Sky break, she was celebrating too. Like a 3 year old was going on, right? Anyhow. 1996, Newcastle entered as blow title shot. I think this is the last one we get. Kevin Keegan's must-watch match by Swan a 12-point lead at the top of the Premier League to Manchester United. Never again get so close to glory. They got money now, so it won't work. And here's a nice one. Southgate penalty miss ends England run. The England manager Gareth Southgate kicked the penalty semi-final shootout loss to Germany.
I remember that
Euro
one.
96.
He and Psycho.
Yeah, Psycho was talking about it on the feature they had, and he was saying that when he saw the Germans walk through the airport, I felt like I shake a few hands.
I wonder why.
What did your parents say? Is that example? It's kind of really good. I was wondering if you shook the Queen's hand, if you shall be shot. I think it was who the guy? I can't remember. You will know the guy. Every see him again. But this is where this is the part of the show we got close down right, because I mean we had a really tough day with all of us, and to make matters worse when we got here, technical difficulties. Oh my lord! It's called Murphy's Law.
I almost thought we wouldn't have had a show.
But we made it.
Yeah.
That's by my loss, we made it.
Made it from start
to
finish.
So, cut the version, but that's like. Anyhow, I just got to start reading messages next week. This is 2 weeks and they get to read a minute. Next week, as of course, we're confirming. But yeah, this week we'll go on IG and look at the ad and everything. We should have guests next week. And once we have those, I'll let you guys know what the subject is, and you guys could chime in. Any famous last words, George?
Just stick with us. We'll be back here again next week. Same time, same place. Earlier next time, hopefully. But we'll be in the same place.
Anyhow, I have nothing much to say. Just like to thank you guys for supporting us from the beginning. It's been, as I said last week, it's a project that is, in development stages. And we can only get better along this time. We'd like to thank you guys at iLive for giving us a chance to come to you guys every Sunday. And I look forward to it. It's fun to interact with people. Having our great DJ there in the corner doing this thing too.
DJ H1.
And he just sits there. I gotta get behind the mic one of these days though. Seriously. Because people can ask me, what does he look like? What does he look like? I tell them I go on IG, you see him. His music does the talking. Just leave it as that. Right, DJ? There you go, he shakes his head. So, this is Kevin.
This is George Ben.
And we are
out of here.